Alright folks, from Mira Mesa Bowl in San Diego, this is scratch division title match action. We got a good start here. Hope the rest of the 9 frames go as well, because we're tied 3 strikes to 3 strikes heading into the 4th frame. 2 bowlers looking for their first career scratch division JBT title. Kevin Jones is the number 2 seed and just got off a thrilling 201 to 195 win over Riley Dempsey in the semifinals. Top seed Derek Acuff has owned this tournament since game 3 today. And he's did it all in the handicap division, looking to break through for that first scratch win. Righty versus lefty, this is Kevin in the 4th frame on front 3, and that's right there. And it saws the rack apart for 4 in a row. Great shot from Kevin right there as he makes it a 4-bagger. Kevin's got titles on the other Southern California tours. He's got 1 JAT title and 4 JST titles. Got to finish off the alphabet soup with one of those B wins out there. Derek was an all-conference, all-star team member in the handicap division last year. His brother Steven has taken over that position. He's the current handicap division all-conference points leader. And almost tasted scratch victory about a month ago in Southern California, where he finished 2nd at Del Rosa Lanes. But let's go, Porter. Different scenario here is he came out of the survivor rounds for that. Here he was the top seed. He took over the lead in game 3 with a plus 96 at the time and took off from there. He got as high as plus 318 today. That was after game 7. Now he had a real bad game 8. Sometimes that's the lanes changing and the bowler not keeping up with the change. According to him, that was the pair. He just said he did a really, really squirrely pair. Obviously nothing squirrely about this for either bowlers. They both start with the front 4 here. It might be first to blink, loses the match. 5th frame. Oh yeah, and the light hit carries too. Great shot there, 5 strikes versus 4 strikes. You got Derek the bowler who hooks a little softer and hooks it more. Kevin the righty is a little bit harder and straighter. That's kind of opposite how it sometimes is in bowling. Each of them look locked in, and this should be a good one. Kevin, by the way, throwing ebonite. He says he owns almost exclusively ebonite balls. If he wins, it's an extra $100 courtesy of our terrific title sponsor, Ebonite, if he can win the match. Kayla just won her handicap division title match, picking up an extra 100 for rolling the mission. Kevin throwing that total envy. Still a great ball. That was one of my favorite ebonite balls ever. Let's see if he can even up the match at 5 in a row apiece. That's tight. It's holding. Will it carry the 10? No. Total difference in lane conditions from yesterday to today. Today we're on a house pattern. There's almost limitless oil in the middle of the lane, where there's plenty of friction off to the right. Yesterday they were flat in the middle, so missed left shots, missed the head pin left. Today, and you'll see that on Kayla's tape too if you watch that, if you miss left, the ball's just going to back up right into the pocket and it becomes almost a weak shot where you're trying to carry out the corners. This time it didn't for Jones. He'll take a half 10 as the result. He'll spare it up and right in this match. Perfect job at the 10 pin. Kevin qualified 2nd today at a score of plus 246, so he ended up right on Derek's heels. So 1-2 in the title match, the way it always just seems kind of nice for it to be. Kevin had a high game today of 256, that was in game 5, and a low game of 195, so really consistent today. Lane conditions, more than any other factor, more than balls, more than pins, more than surface, dictate the scoring pace. Yesterday we used the PBA's Tournament of Champions shot, and the 5-game cut was minus 166. Today we used the Mira Mesa, basically house pattern, tweaked just a pinch, and the scratch division cut was, I believe, minus 10. So, perfect shot there from Kevin. See, that ball is just a little further right of target, so it picked up its rotation. That time the 10 pin responds, no problem there. So a difference of 180 pins roughly over 5 games on the 2 lane conditions. That's what, about 35 pins per game difference. So it really tells you the story of where the oil is on the lane overriding everything else. Surface is definitely a factor. Obviously equipment is a factor. But house to a tough sport shot is just night and day. And you got to be versatile if you're going to be a successful bowler at this level, at the regional level, college, all that. You got to strike a lot when they're easy and grind it out when they're hard. And this time Derek comes up high. It's a 6-7, no 4-7. Hello. Got to convert to lefty counts. Bowling's a funny sport. Now both bowlers could end up with 11 out of 12 strikes. If that happens, Kevin Jones has already won the match because he had the 9 count in the 5th. And even though Derek's miss came later in the game, that shorter count, the way the bowling scoring system is, gives Jones the actual advantage in this match. Hard and straight cross lane, covers it up and avoids the chop. Both the Acuff brothers practice just about every single day. Steven plays football too, so he doesn't get quite as much practice in. But still, they are constantly on the lanes, constantly working on their games, and as a result, turned into a rising stars on the tour. The transition from scratch to handicap can be, handicap to scratch can be very difficult. A lot of bowlers who were great handicap bowlers, who are, you know, get around the mid 190s in the averages, kind of backslide a little bit when they go to the potentially more intimidating environment that our scratch division has. Not the case here for Derek. He just took to it immediately. And this time light. Leaves 8 pins on the other side. He took the scratch division immediately. Had some up and down results, but it's just more a result of him learning to play the different patterns than any sort of intimidation. And when he's had a good look, hey, that's his 2nd scratch title match already, and we're only at the tail end of October here, Halloween day actually. 3-6 should be pretty easy for a lefty, and instead a little quick and lazy on that spare, and the ball doesn't get over there. Like we said, there's a puddle of oil in the middle of the lanes, and unless you really help that ball over to the right, it's not going to hook across the middle. It doesn't, and big advantage Jones right now. Where is my refreshe? Where is my soda? This is about the nicest lady on tour right here. I don't know if you knew that. It just doesn't get much sweeter. I wish this soda was as sweet as Mrs. Cleveland, because this stuff is awful. Safeway, you can do better. That's right. Big shot here for Jones. Strike working. Oh yeah, he gets that light hit to carry. When you're light and the ball's rotating well, you're going to have phenomenal carry. The difference between that and the half 10 he left before is he was further left on his target when he left that 10 pin. The ball's not rotating towards the pocket. That time it is. You're going to get good carry in that situation, and he does, and he now has a commanding lead. From what was a close match, she bumps him up to a theoretical 13-pin lead, which you can extend to 23 if he can make it 3 in a row. So this refreshe, I hate to sell out Safeway here, but this is the oh sorry, you don't have Safeway here. This is the Vaughn's house brand. It's supposed to be like Coke Zero. It needs a little work. It was $1.98 for 12, and I got what I paid for. For 3 in a row. Yeah, another sawing out that light hit. When that 4-pin slides out like that, that's just enough angle to get those light hits to carry, and that's a 3-bagger after a 4-bagger and make that 23-pin lead. Acuff has to get back in the pocket here. 8th, 9th, and 10th will tell the story. I do appreciate Safeway's great pricing and fresh produce, however, every day. And I don't want them to take away my club card. So we might have to say some other nice things. Better shot there from Derek. He gives the old hands up, saying, where was that in the last 2 shots? Certainly far from over, but if Derek loses this match, I think it was just a little bit of concentration errors on those spares. And he's not one to be slow anyway, but he's really going to want that 7th frame back. When you open in a relatively high-scoring match, it's such a surge of adrenaline to your opponent, as well as such a a negative surge for yourself. It can really change matches quickly. A 10-frame match when it's a strike fest is awful quick. Got a hook. Yeah. It does. Both bowlers carrying really well when they hit light. When you come in from that outside-ish angle, Derek coming in from way outside, Kevin from the sort of track area, your light hits are going to carry if you got any sort of rotation at all. Derek can still max out for 255. Right now, Jones going at a 248 pace, so still anybody's game. If Jones can strike here and not drop 4 pins a count in the 10th, he'll win the match. Kevin's never been closer to JBT victory. Nice ball. Beautiful shot from Kevin. Boy, when the pressure's the most on, Kevin comes up with one of his best shots of the title match there. That was just executed a little bit better, gave it a little more time, and faced up right into the 1-3. And he is now good count mark away from victory. My goodness. Any combination of 17 pins here in the 10th will do it for him. 7 spare strike, each spare 9. If he gets a 6 count by any chance or less here, he could tie or lose this match still. Another nice shot. Oh no, are you kidding me? Boy, he threw that ball really, really well. It's the same sort of slightly softer. Kevin, we do have to add that pin. Can you run up there and add the 7, please? He threw that ball just as good as he threw it on 14, gave it a little extra time to face up. We have seen a lot of corner pins today. John, the GM here, was telling us that he got a new set of pins in October.
You knocked it down?
Guys, I was watching it the whole time. It was the machine.
Yeah, okay.
John, he said they got new pins in here about a month ago, and they haven't carried as well, both here and their sister center, Mira Mesa. The shot here is just as easy as always. They said the scores for their league bowlers have been down just a little bit because of corner pins. That can happen on new pins sometimes. Unfortunately for Kevin, it happened at the worst possible time as he leaves a pocket 7-10. Now, you got to look at the scoreboard if you're Jones. 8-1 here puts Kevin at 245. Derek working at a 5 in his count. If he goes 8 out here, that takes him down to 243. If I'm Kevin Jones right here, I get the 1.
I will.
If you try and be a hero and go for it, and you risk going that 8 out, which makes life a lot easier on Derek. Getting the 8-1 still forces Derek to double. If he misses it, Derek only needs the first hit and 9 spare to win. So nobody needs to be a hero right here. That said, it's still, you got to execute on your corner pins. What a horrible break to turn this from a win to anybody's game. Boy, oh boy. 1 is crucial again here. Perfect job at the 10. Absolutely the right move there for Kevin to get that 1. That finishes at 245, like we said, and that forces Derek Acuff to throw 2 strikes in the 10th frame for his first career scratch division JBT title. Boy, these are the moments you live for as a bowler. There's got to be adrenaline surging through Derek when he saw that 7-10. Then it's a matter of recomposing yourself. He doesn't need to pipe it down there. He needs to be nice and give that ball time. As Kevin Jones' body language tells way more than I can say with words right here. First things first, must have this strike.
Come on, kiddo. Come on.
Oh my goodness. What an excellent shot by Derek as well. He gave it the extra time, just a ringing 7. Bad break for Jones in the 10th, and a bad break for Acuff in the 10th. And that result gives Kevin Jones JBT title number 1. He can't believe it up in the corner. What an exciting finish there for both bowlers. My goodness. Both bowlers threw it great in the 10th frame, and neither one struck in the 10th frame after starting the match front 5 and front 4. My goodness. Exciting stuff, folks. You've got to be a part of this. If you're anywhere between Seattle and Dallas and anywhere in between, check our schedule and come out and bowl one of these tournaments. You can have as much fun as we had too today. I want to say on camera thanks to Samantha, Eric, our duo of super nerds, and everybody else who dressed up today. Fun times on Halloween day. Great bowl match. Going out the flats. We'll talk to you again soon.